All righty, McKay. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm glad we finally got together. When you contacted me, you said you asked to meet. Can you tell me what it is that brought you to therapy, just to know that maybe this was something that would be helpful?
Well, I just got a lot on my plate. Um, I work full time. I have two daughters, and I'm going to school for my master's part time. I have high expectations of myself, and I get down when I don't meet them. I find that I'm an overachiever, and I don't know how to not. I consistently work through my lunch break at work, even though I know if I work through my lunch break, I'm going to be too mentally tired to come home and do homework, which is going to mess up my school, which is going to give me bad grades. But I don't know how to make myself stop working sometimes.
Okay, I see that. And what is it that you do, McKay?
So I'm a parent educator. I work for a nonprofit. We help families in the area. I provide parenting education. I provide milestone vision and hearing screenings for kids. And basically, my main thing I do every day is I work with parents, provide them education so they can improve their parenting skills, just so they can be I don't want to say better parents, but like our slogan is help good parents become great parents. Like we just improve what they already have, and we give them more confidence and education.
Oh, wow, that is.
And so a lot of my job consists of making lesson plans, paperwork, writing reports after the visits, more paperwork, more paperwork, more paperwork, more paperwork.
And on top of that, you come home to school and family and correct?
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate. Now, let me ask you this. How is this pressure that you have? Is this, you mentioned, a lot of it is on you. Can you tell me about maybe your boss, and how are they, as far as, are they just as intense, lax, more?
Um, the word that comes to mind with every interaction, incompetent. Like, and the thing is like I can't totally blame him because he was not in my position. He did not have this role before he became our supervisor. He was in our company, but in a different program doing a completely different thing. And so when they promoted him over here, it he doesn't know anything about what our jobs are. He doesn't know anything about what we entail. And so when I have a question to ask him, I have to explain all the things underneath it before I can get to the question. And then he's just like, I don't know.
Hmm.
So I have some support um, with my coworkers. I have some support with that. Um, but from him, not a lot.
I understand. Okay. And now let me ask you about, okay, that is your work. Let me ask you about home. Do you have that support? Where do you see yourself at home? Is it worse at work? Is it worse at home? This time restraint, this, never ending, when do you feel more? When do you feel less?
Never ending to-do list. Yeah. At home, my husband supports me a lot. Like he gives me time to unwind, he gives me time to relax, he lets me talk things out. He's really there for me. But again, it's just the expectations I put on myself. Like I come home from work and I have to focus on schoolwork. So we actually don't pick up the kids from daycare until later in the evening. So honestly, we drop them off at daycare at like 7 in the morning. We don't pick them up till 6 at night. And so I feel like I'm failing as a mom in that front. But the only time I have for homework is right after work, because I have ADHD and my medicine wears off but by nighttime. So I have to do schoolwork right when I get home from work before my medication wears off, so I can actually focus and get it done. But then I feel like a bad mom because my kids are never home and I never get to see them. The only time I get to see them is dinner and bedtime, and then they're asleep and I'm asleep. And then I also feel like, even though I'm doing a lot, like I know I'm doing a lot. I know every time I tell anybody that I work full time and I'm going to school part time, they're like, holy cow, you're so busy, you're doing so much. I catch myself a lot still thinking that I'm not enough, that I'm not doing enough because the house isn't clean, because I have to ask my husband, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Could you do this while I can read my textbook? And I know that my expectations of myself are too high, and I just don't know how to adjust it.
Mm-hmm. No, I see. I see. And you are right. You are doing a lot, and you need to, and you do need to take that into consideration and be good to you. Okay, so let's see, how do we fare socially? When does McKay get to relax? Because that's very important. Give yourself that time.
That's actually something I do prioritize. At the end of every week, every Saturday night, Sunday, when my weekly assignments are turned in, I give myself time to paint my nails.
Nice.
But I only let myself do it once all my assignments are turned in, because it's kind of like a motivator. Like, okay, I really don't want to do this assignment right now, but ooh, I got this new nail polish. I really want to try it. Okay, I'll do this assignment so I can paint my nails. Like it's a
Reward thing.
it's a big reward for me, yeah.
Yes. Oh,
But
that's
it's a time where like I put on my show, I spend time like really cleaning, I spend time really detailing, making sure I got everything good. Like it's a really time to only think about me. So I get about 1 hour a week.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. But that's great. That's wonderful. You have.
But that's all that I have time for, it feels like. Like I feel like I just don't have time for more than 1 hour a week for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so I know what your goals are, and the great thing is that these goals, you're meeting them. So you should be very happy. There's nothing there that you are not, able to meet right now. There's just so many, and they're, piled on top of each other, but you should be very happy that you're there. You are getting your master's. There's a future, and it will get there. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, that I want to talk to you said, sometimes we don't take into consideration what we can do to change these things, to change some of the things that we, that are part of our daily life. And one of the things that you said, for example, is my boss is the way it is, but I can't blame him. So what I want us to try, for example, substitute when he says, when you're saying, oh, he's incompetent. How about you say, well, I'm going to try to help this guy out because he doesn't really even know. Mm-hmm. And that might ease some of that frustration that maybe is, because that sounds like, a lot of what it's frustrating for us to want to help and look to the person who's supposed to help us and not have the answers, right? And so, it might be more empowering to you as well to say, okay, it's not that he doesn't know, it's just let me I understand that it's not his, you're not going to do his job for him, but I can see how it might make things even a little bit easier and less frustrating on you. So maybe when we, and when you have these frustrating moments, maybe think of substituting, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't, with, I'm going to, help him out and tell him how it works. And you take the power in that situation, maybe. We could try that, and maybe your anxiety will ease a little bit. I'm not saying that's going to work every time, but
I think I like that idea of reframe, like kind of adjusting my mindset and kind of like reframing it, kind of, I don't know, changing the flavor, I guess.
Mhm.
He's just incompetent to, he's learning. Like
Exactly.
he
Yeah.
is, like, and that's the thing. Like I guess you're right. Like I guess it's frustrating because there's also been so much change within
Mhm.
that year that it's just there hasn't been a lot of stability in management, and so it's, yeah, I think I'm gonna I've only been there a year, so I don't know my job well enough to teach him. But if I could just maybe have a better outlook of he's learning, let it be.
Uh, yeah, and kind of make your, take this as an opportunity to, put, yourself basically in a I guess, better, a higher aspect. Because it might come in handy. You never know in the future. Like you said, management is changing. Okay. Another thing I was noticing, and I want to talk about is there were some words when you were talking about that, when you were saying you were an overachiever, but you said it as though that was a negative. This vocabulary and this emotional that is not a bad thing. That is a positive thing. But in your vocabulary and with the emotion that you showed, it was, she says, you said, I'm an overachiever. I want to get everything done, and I have to meet this. So, and I caught all sorts of good things, but yet when you said these brought on negative emotions. So this vocabulary that you have, give me, let's talk about our emotional vocabulary. You talked about some stuff that you said, okay, it's overwhelming. It's, I have all these demands and I put them on myself. Okay, how about we switch those to positive things? I think, you're working as you're you're a mom and you're meeting their needs. Let's try to find some positive things we can focus on for next week. Okay, and remember, overachiever is not a negative one. So when we say that word, let's turn
I
it into a positive.
I think I view it as, I talk about it as negative. I view it as negative because I think I don't want to be an overachiever anymore. I think I was kind of raised to be an overachiever. Like that was the whole, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. But if you apply that to work ethic, I think that's what I was raised to be. Like
Mhm.
if you're not going above and beyond, you're slacking. And I think I just want to stop. I want to be a normal worker. To, I don't want to go above and beyond. I'm tired.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I'm kind of viewing it as negative right now.
Yeah, sounds that way. So let's come up with maybe at least 3 things that we're gonna focus on, and we'll do this as maybe homework for next time. Maybe 3 things that you're gonna come back with you and be like, okay, this is the positive me. And so before we end our session today, I want us to think, and we'll come up with those 3 things for homework. okay, and take care of and ponder on those, and you're going to self-reflect, and you're going to come back and be like, this is something that I know that I'm great at, or I'm good at. Okay. And before we end our session today, I want you to describe the best version of McKay to me. Tell me, when I'm on, maybe work-wise, home-wise, relationship-wise, you tell me, what is the best version of McKay?
Like what I want to be, or what I have been that I liked?
What you would see yourself as being the best version of you. If you could, outside of you, look at you and say, this is the best version of me.
I think kind of almost what I'm doing now, but I almost want to work on prioritizing my family relationships. Because, like I said, I only see my kids at bedtime.
Mhm.
But I've been kind of thinking about it. And I want to take like maybe Friday afternoons off of school. And instead of like, trying to get something done for like an hour and a half on Friday, just take that day break and pick up my girls early from daycare, have a family night, and then kind of add a little extra time on my Saturday, because I'm already schoolwork most of the day Saturday already. What's another hour on a Saturday versus what's an extra hour early home on a Friday night? I feel like that would help promote the best version of me, because that would kind of increase my family relationships. Because I don't like it that when I'm stressed, I kind of tend to snap more, because humans, that's what we do.
Mhm.
So I kind of want to take that Friday to relax and make my
Exactly.
girls feel a priority too.
Now, my children always tell me, Mom, your stress becomes our stress. Granted, they're a lot older, but that is true. We transfer how we feel onto them, and we think this is just me. Well, not really. Yeah. So yeah, that is a wonderful, wonderful idea. All right. So we're going to focus on bringing back three things that are positive, that are that we would use to describe you, but that are positive. And we're going to focus on those for next time. Okay. All right, McKay. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. You take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.